Is food really the problem, or have we been blaming the wrong thing? Because I had a conversation where someone said, it's not food, it's your environment, the air you breathe, and where you live. And honestly, they are not wrong. Air pollution matters, stress matters, lifestyle matters. But here is the real question. If everything affects your health, what affects it the most consistently? Because you don't control the air every minute, but you do control what you eat every single day. And not just that, what happens when you don't eat at all?
So, in reading labels, so when we started being more conscious about what we put in our body, we started looking at labels, like looking at the ingredients, not just looking at the percentage of carbohydrates or protein inside in the meal or in the package. Started looking at the ingredients, actually, like what's and the effects of those ingredients in the body, and then we're like, okay. Then you now start realizing that actually you put a lot of junk in your body than you recognize, especially here. That's a lot of bioengineered food, a lot of processed food, and then you now start seeing when you start looking at the effects, and think just like what you were talking about, that when we start tracking things like that, then you now know that okay, when your body responds in a certain way, you are able to say okay, it is a result of what I've put in my body. So saying that diet does not play a part is, you cannot convince me otherwise to say that it actually plays, I would say 70% or 75% of, yeah.
Even in the gym industry, you see, because recently I go back, but again I stopped. But there's this argument, they say that it's 80-20. So 20 is what the gym is doing, 80 is what you're taking into.
Abs are made in the kitchen.
Yep. So the whole essence of this, again, to reiterate, is we're not trying to demonize anything, just to show how we got to this stage where, as I was saying before, where if you miss a drink, you're like, you're losing out. And the truth is that you're not. You're really not, because of what use is it to me, in that sense, like of what use. Looking back, then this study made me go back to why many things started. Things like Coca-Cola, it was used to help people who are sprinting to get fast energy. And if you're going to sprint or you're running and you need instant energy, most likely you burn it. So at different intervals they were giving them, they noticed that, oh, this thing is nice to the taste. Can we sell it? And that's how it became. How they now made it a party thing, it's now funny for me. So one of the things,
And here it's even worse. Like it's make it an everyday thing.
it's now an identity. Because for someone to say they don't take water at all, they just take it, you're like, come on, alpha. So the whole essence for us was, moving from that. I think we graduated from checking foods. No, we started with wanted to eat healthy, reducing portions, looking at the type of food you eat. We switched to eating just some natural things, but here and there we were still doing some of those foods then, until now, where we're in that stage where it's not just about eating. I think at this stage, we already have a pattern. We have things that we deem good and deem not so good, not because it's not good in itself. And I used to tell, there's this brother, we go to Walmart together, and I used to tell him my combinations, that, bro, if there's anything you're doing now, I used to do it and I loved it. I would be insincere to say it tastes good. Amazing. Like, and I grew up from that place where my mom is a caterer, so you know how to make things look nice in your mouth, where you take ice cream and all of those things. But when you now look at, so I'm taking this, it's good in my mouth, it's good for my brain, I feel a bit good. Yeah, dopamine, exactly. But what is the effect on me in the long run? I know people put in spirituals, and that is one aspect I'm really questioning, because why are you putting in spirituals when you can sit down and say,
You know what is causing.
yeah, because you see somebody say, oh, don't worry, I know that this thing is not that good for my health, but I will take it and I will pray about it. But again, that's not a conversation we're talking about. So that's how we got into all of this. And it's really not about ego. People even think you want to show off knowledge. It's
Exactly. Like
even about
it's not about that. Yeah, I think Okay, yeah.
Okay, it's not really about knowledge for us as much as yes, we have the knowledge. Now I can defend what I'm eating based on I know. Again, sometimes I eat some of these things. I might not eat it openly because people say you spoke against it. But there are some things we don't eat at all. That there's a baseline. Maybe soda. Why don't we even take soda? Let me allow you go.
So me, why I stopped, I think I stopped soda even before I came to the US at all. So and that was because, like, again, if you watch my video on my, I think I'm going to link the video.
He's sponsoring this video.
I like did a deep dive into why I actually started the whole health journey. Actually, when I started, it was because I wanted a flat tummy. And then I found that I got to find a lot of things out that, okay, actually this thing I was carrying around was a hormonal belly because of PCOS. And then the whole PCOS thing, and then I started doing like portion control, reducing the amount. And the thing about portion control is that you're trying to reduce the amount of carbs you're eating. Eventually, it's still looking like keto because you're actually reducing the amount of carbohydrates. Because
The problem with portion control that we should address, because they don't reduce just the amount of carbs, they reduce the amount of everything. So you might now
the person I was Eunice, the person I was working with, my nutritionist was she gave us like the way we should eat, that the amount of carbohydrates you eat should be like your fist size. Your fist size. Then the amount of vegetables and protein you eat should be like exactly major. So like if you divide your plate into 4, 1/4 should be carbs, another 1/4 should be probably vegetables or maybe protein, and then the most of it should be half of it should be like vegetable, then quarter should be protein. Because it also has less carbohydrates, it fills you up more, so you don't have to crave something else later. And then carbohydrates. So those portion controls actually helped me at that time. And then I got to see the effect. I was, because before that time I did not have my periods. Maybe 6 months, I'll go 6 months, 5 months, no period and everything. Then I've got to find out that the whole thing became regular. So at that time I just stopped soda because I felt like soda had a whole bunch of carbohydrates, empty carbs that is not doing anything to your body. Like, it's not helping your body, it's just adding to the amount of carbohydrates where I'm supposed to reduce the amount. So that was why I stopped soda. So I even had stopped soda before I came to the US. So and coming to the US, it was just something else to stop, like ice cream. Then ice cream and cookies and things like that. So we had to actively stop all those things, because we started saying like, okay, when I got here, and I was being spoiled by my husband, eating all these jugs, and then I found out that I was gaining weight. It was weight gain actually. So I was like, okay, this is not normal again. That I was already I came in, I was 63 kg I believe, and then within like 4 months I was at 65 kg. I was like, this is not normal. Something has to change. Then we started like actively trying to cut down sugar, and then running around and jerking everywhere. So it's from a place of knowledge and also like personal experience. No, we are not trying to say we feel like we are better than anybody else because we are not eating. We went to an event, a wedding last year, and because we have a son now, and I was telling the person like, oh, don't give my son I think maybe cake or something. And they were like, I'm not allowing my son to enjoy. I said, I don't want to be dragging anything with you. I said, don't give my son this thing. Just don't give them. So like we can be arguing whether it's good. It may not necessarily be bad, but when I tell you don't give my son something, just don't give him. So but at that point it was something that I know that is harmful, and then it's not going to be like he's tiny. The amount of what should be entering his body should things that should help him, not just filling him his stomach with junks because you feel like he should be enjoying that. He'll be looking at his classmates, I'll be looking at his friends that are eating this thing, he wants to eat it. That's like, he's tiny, he does not understand. Yes, he wants to eat it because it feels like everybody's eating it, but when he comes home,
nice to the taste.
yes, but when he comes home and he sees that egg is egg, he eats the egg. So I think it's just from a place of understanding of how our bodies work, and not just, I would say, convenience.
I think for me it was a turnaround, because I went as far. I still want to go back to some of the papers. I even read some academic journals, and I'll put a couple of links in the description. But it was just the knowledge for me that, okay, if research is showing this, I know people will say, oh, the body of knowledge progresses and all of that, and that will be our next subject to discuss. the fundings too, because you cannot dissociate research results from fundings. It's not possible, and this is where nutritionists, food scientists, medical scientists, they tend not to see through that lens. I know, but again, that's another topic. But to come back, so it was just the knowledge. We went through a lot of things, looked at the building blocks for the body, and rarely would you see people tell you carbohydrate is a building block. Carbohydrates to everybody is a major form of energy. So you just need pam pam. Then you now read again and say, oh, there's something that is called, oh, I've forgotten it again. It's where protein can also be it converts to a form of carbohydrate in your body, which gives the same energy, but this time is more stable. So now again, I see egg rice today. So it's not like I'm there where I personally want to be, but when I do times where I just do carnivore 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you will see that point in time is like I'm on an aircraft. I'm just going, like, though there will be no, you wake up, you are just calm. You don't have that, those aha moments. Everything is just calm. Even to sleep, you don't sleep easily. You graduate, like, you see visions. You now say, oh, is this what it feels like? You see visions, you see, I think that's why people fast, and we'll get to fasting too. Everything just looks, yeah. But when you are in that mixing time, which I'm currently in, when you eat, there's this, you just want to, there's this, exactly. So you see my personal experience, and when I got into all of this, I said, oh, now obviously the major motivation for us was weight loss. But at this point in time, I graduated from weight loss for 2 reasons. The first one is, I think I know the solution to whatever I need to do at any time. Number 2, I feel okay. In my life circle, this is like my peak years. So let me have this time, and let me just see if I can still play with some things at this time. But I'm going to get to that bracket where I will not have much. Then again, my dad's experience. So I know, and from the doctors I follow online, they've tend to show us that yes, genetics play a big role, but there's a very good helper of genetics. It's still again what goes into your body. So can you alter your genetics by what goes into your body? Yes. So that's how many of these things, has helped us to build a life where we're not moved. So it's not really from a place of we're against food, or
Want to be different by force.
I'll say it again for lack of saying things over and over again. It's sweet. It's practically nice in your mind. It's bro, then that will buy that chocolate drink with this Walmart bread, the $6 bread, and you now get the hydrogenated oil butter. I had to put it like that because we don't do those oils, and we'll go to some of the basic things we don't do, and hydrogenated oil butter. And when you, if you want to have a perfect night this night, it's just to get that chocolate, put hot water or ice cream, then take that, and then just cross your leg and watch something. My God, you have one feeling like and once you finish, la la land straight. But when you go full carnivore, one of the first things that will happen to you is that when you finish eating, you might not feel sleepy at all. Your body is just like, okay,
You down because there's no spike and crash.
so that's how, not just learning now. I now apply that. Oh, so I can eat. Because then when I eat at noon, I used to have group meeting just after. I used to tell you, group meeting or a class, either of them, even if I just even drink soda, you just get there, maybe because I do late nights too. But the very first time I just ate meat that afternoon, I was in the class and I could control myself. Oh, I said, okay, so I think there's something here. Then I now saw that, there's a science that backs it up, how our body responds to food. So let's just take one more. I've seen this argument a lot. Do you think that do you think food can cure diseases? What you eat?
Okay, so I would say yes, because of obviously from personal experience. But it's not. I think what people want is like, just give me one superfood that I don't have to stop any other thing. Just give me, maybe I say maybe avocado is good. I say, okay, if I take avocado, all my problems is solved. I don't have to stop the sugar. I don't have to stop everything. So I'll say yes, it can help, but it's a systemic thing. Like there are systems to it. It's not just, oh, just take this singular food. Maybe just eat beef alone. And once you eat beef, your problem is solved, and then you don't cut down other things. So I'll say yes, food is capable of curing diseases if done the right way. And doing it the right way means letting go of some other things. Because some people, I think there was one person that was arguing that it's what you add, it's not what you remove. I don't believe that. I think there's some things.
Not to the add. Sorry, that does not make sense. Even with the world, even with, for instance, even our studio space, before we had to remove many things.
Yeah, so I think that argument it doesn't really sit well with me. So that was what she was arguing. But I believe there are some things that need to be removed. And it's not just about food. I think we're going to talk about maybe a different video, talk about like other things that it's not just food related.
But I think if you can solve that 80%.
So as long as you can solve the things that are within your control, I think that's what people don't want to agree to for that. This thing is within your control. Like we can talk about environment and how maybe we should have less pollution and everything, but you can't really control that at a point. But food, what goes inside your mouth is your own mouth. You can nobody's forced.
But it's been bioengineered to them. So sometimes I see their point too. At some point, it's not like addiction. They can't just control it.
They can.
But it's hard to do.
It's hard, exactly. So it's hard to do, but it's still within your control. You have just chosen not to do it. I know you say is this, but we are also at a point where we're eating
the right wing conversation. No, I'm just joking.
So there was a point in our lives where we were almost like addicted with these things.
It took us time.
It did, yeah, exactly. That was it. It took us time. It was not just it's not total. It was not like willpower. I say, okay, I don't want to stop, and then I stopped. I know some people say that happened with them, but for us, we tried different things. We're holding ourselves accountable. If you eat sugar, you pay $100. If you eat sugar, you have to jog so number of miles. So, but at a point, it was just like that understanding of what it's doing to our bodies that actually brought that awareness that it's not as if somebody is trying to force you to do something. It's just like you yourself knowing that, okay, this thing actually is detrimental to my health. It's not helping me at all. And then I'm deciding to stop. Just like, for example, like people that smoke, for example, and they are just telling them to stop smoking. It's not good. If they don't see by themselves, just be as if then they'll start looking for excuses and say, this person I know still lives to be 80 years old and is still an avid smoker. You're looking for things to justify your bad habits. But once you by yourself actually sit down and say, okay, this thing is not actually helping me, then at that point you start making changes. It's still not easy at that point, but at least it's easier since you already have that mindset that, okay, I need to make a change.
So I think, again, the first thing I would say if you want to change is, first of all, go and do research. Just sit down. And for me, I go both sides. I go, okay, those who are against it, why are they? Those who are... the problem is that it's going to be time consuming. But maybe if you now believe in us, probably you could take whatever we have seen. But it's going to be time consuming. That's one. Number two, to undo many things. Notice that you had been doing this thing for a particular number of years. I actually think that our body and what we need is the smartest thing on earth. Because if you have been doing something for 20 years, stopping it for 1 year can almost undo the 20 years. But people will not want to stop that 1 year. Rather, they will not want to manage it for another 20 years. It's like, no. Just think about it. Your body is... You don't do 1 month. 1 month will not do anything. 2 months will not really do it. You need at least 4, 5, 6 months to see significant changes, and you will see it. Like, I mean, I've seen things change for me. I know I'm slipping back in that sense, but I know what to do to get some type of results that I need. And so let's go to the concept of calories. And this is another question people ask. Again, I don't need to watch what I eat. It is basic mathematics. You are an engineer, Timothy. You are just an engineer. Just is calorie. Exactly. Just stop. It's just my baseline is 1,200, so I can decide to just stay on. I want to look for something really close. I can decide to eat only rice. I don't want to use soda. Soda is an extreme. I can decide to eat only rice because I love rice, and I eat the whole 2,000 calories from rice, and I'm supposed to be fine. What do you have to say?
So I would say that is what's the English? Like you're making your body seem like it's just a simple system. Your body is a complex system, so it's not just calorie in, calorie out. But it does work for some. In some cases, maybe you're trying to lose weight, and then maybe your normal intake is like 2,000 calories, and then you have to
Like that weight loss might not equal healthy life, and that is what I think Aproko doctor is doing a bit, but some things he will say I still have issues with it. But yeah, you're going.
So, and let's say maybe you're initially eating 2,000 calories, and then try to cut down to 1,000. Yes, you see a change because you're reducing the amount of food you're eating, and then your body has not really caught up with. It's still burning based on the 2,000 calories. But to get to a point that they call it like a plateau, that you just when you catch up like you think you're smart, and then what they'll do is that they'll cut down again, and then your body also still try to. So yes, you lose the weight, but one can argue that that's not a healthy. If you are just like, I think some people do something like juice fast, and
To do it actually. Maybe I just want to use my body. I still have time age wise.
So I think it should just come from a place of understanding. So it's not wrong in itself, but when you're trying to just look for shortcuts to get just look for shortcuts to get what you want to achieve, and then you now go back to your old eating habits. Just like people that go on like GLP-1 and all those kinds of like weight loss, Ozempic weight loss surgeries. Eventually, if you don't correct your diet, why are you laughing?
You know why I'm laughing? Is that I saw a study that showed how Ozempic helps to give you long life. And so that study, obviously, before it's a talking point. I was telling you how many diets, like you see somebody will come out and say, I've even seen it, how even though that Coke is hitting, they are getting more hits. You will see a study that will come out to say there's the caffeine or whatever compound in Coke helps your blood to flow better. And so it's a valid research. But you now start, even though that we are now asking questions like, okay, who? Because you can deny what it does to your bloodstream.
Because you're focused on something else.
Exactly. And say, this is what the research I found out, that Coke, okay, let's look at this. Coke helps your hair. Then you say Coke helps the hair. It's a good thing. You have forgotten what happens to the whole body in that sense. So the concept of calories, as I started to look at calories at some point. We did calorie checking at some point. But we stopped for one reason, is that not all calories will be the same. So again, your body is a whole system, and that's the beauty of when you begin to check what you are eating. You will cure things you did not think you were going to cure. I was telling you how just that time I got into fasting, I didn't even fast for, let's say, I was just fasting for weight loss. But I used to have one chronic leg pain then. All of those things just wham. I was like, oh, so it looks like your body is actually working together and not working together anyway. It's because people that, say, okay, I study genes, like our sister, I study this one, I study that one. They take those parts, but they might not look at it as a whole
system. Yeah, just like what you said. So I started the whole weight loss thing because of primarily flat tummy and weight loss. So, and then I've noticed some other thing. My period was regular. That was not what I was aiming for. I do that because I didn't think that food and PCOS, like there was really nothing correlated. I did not know at that time. So, but when I started like losing the weight, I saw my period is coming every month. If you notice that my hair, my eyebrow hair started growing out, because there's this thing that's like, if it's not growing out, you have like a thyroid issue. So which means that I could have had something like that. So maybe it was undiagnosed.
They used to have this skin stuff behind your back like this, weird like this.
Yes. So I had a lot of things, like my complexion began to get even. Like if you look at my hand, like I used to have like very dark knuckles, and I did add
Buy a lot of creams.
I did. I bought cream. Hey, I did this thing. It got to a point that I was almost bleaching it. I think about that. There's this chemical you put. Then you wear glove and sleep. Then wake up in the morning. I did everything.
And you at the point.
I did everything. Eventually, once you stop, your skin is going back. So, like, you will not see the changes like in month 1 or month 2 or month 3, just like what you said. But you just see that the other things are happening. Like, you just feel happier. You just feel lighter, like you just feel more alive. That someone was asking me that, with all the thing, that's what have I noticed? I started telling you the thing. My fertility improved because I was able to get a child or have children with that, which it was not what I was gunning for. I was able to lose the weight, which made me feel healthier, more alive. Going to the gym, it helped me like and that's what light, like, when once you're doing Zumba, you're dancing, you're not feeling or tired, everything. So like even helping with my cognition, I was not like I was dull before. But.
Think about this one because for instance, all that we're grateful that we can do now, but many of the breakthroughs I had, even with everything we're doing, is those times I take long fasts. Because first of all, I think, again, don't quote me, but it looks like when you in sleeping, your body corrects and your body breaks down. When you have a lot in your body to break down. So your body is trying to sleep to, at least, let me use this one to close your mouth. You sure cannot be eating when you're sleeping. So, but when you eat less, which will lead to the next question, the concept of fasting. When you eat less, you will not sleep long. So then I will have 2-3 hours of sleep and your mind is pam and many thoughts. Though again, the last thought is that if I feel just catch one better food like this, everything, and you become almost like a wounded lion. Like even your smell, I could smell food from 10 yards away. Then if I was passing, I would, just from our house, I could smell there's this kitchen down there where they package food for campus. I could smell it. Like you could, so you're like just
like almost like a superhuman, but just like your senses are more active.
I miss the feeling. Maybe I'll go back to it. I mean, those 3 days, 4 days long fast. Sure, I did dry one time, and you nothing will happen to you literally.
I think the time I did, I think I was breastfeeding that time, so I was doing like 26. 16/8 is my baseline. I'll tell someone that if where I'm comfortable is 16/8, like fasting 16 hours, eating for 8 hours. It works for me. But if I want to lose weight, I'm 16/8 will have to push it. So I have to get like 20 hours. So there was one time I actually did like 26 hours, and I would say the hunger was more in my mind than I actually was feeling.
That's the problem. So let's go. So the whole, to just wrap the calorie question, all calories are not the same. So we don't count calories anymore. I don't. Though I know that eventually, if I want to stop my bulking phase and start to lose weight, I know that all I need to do is just, when you fast, you're already counting calories. Once you got if you put it's called time restricted eating. If you eat once in 3 days or once in 2 days, you cannot eat the number of calories you eat at the same time. But rather than me waste my 200 calories on a drink that I'm going to be eating processed vitamins, why should I not just use that to eat a whole plate of meat or beef or something? And that was, again, the aha moment for us to say, okay, I can't waste my calories, this personally, maybe she will do that, I can't waste it on oats. in my time where I know, okay, I'm fasting and I need all the calories I can get, I'll waste that calories on 20 eggs. I can waste.
I think for me is that, I get your point. So I may or may not take oats. I've not taken it obviously, but I'm telling you that why I might go back to oats, not because of the oats, because of the other things that I want to eat. Not like for the same reason, like me eating rice. I'm not emotionally attached to rice, to be honest, but I eat rice because I want to be able to eat exactly. It helps us to be able to eat like vegetables and to eat like even more, we eat meat, but to eat like more meat and everything. So you will see that the amount of rice that I'll take is very negligible. Like Christian will not be full with the amount of rice I eat. So I will just take little rice, but I will load my plate with eggs. And so someone say, maybe she's eating rice. Or the rice I'm eating is like 1/10 of the rice you can eat. So
I've reduced mine too from how I used to eat rice before. I think I'm going half now, but it was my best food. It's still like you see the cogwheel in my it's the greatest. We've cut out bread, we've cut out many of those foods, but I think for me the only carbs I still eat now is rice. I do plantain. I do plantain a lot. I mean, I can also eat a lot of plantain. Then sometimes, but I stopped that one. There's this bread, Ezekiel bread, that is from sprouted wheat, which again, yeah. So then I get carbohydrate too from granite. I still do granite sometimes. Then avocado, then bananas because I make smoothies. Then I was in the gym and for some reason I bought the idea of buying whey protein. I'm trusting God I'll finish it. Like personally, I don't like the response in my body. It's in my body. It feels like I'm drinking soda. Like so, I know that once I'm done with it like this, I'm entering my fasting phase really because I feel like I've taken a lot of chemicals this period that I want to get out of my body. But that's the way we approach it. It's not we can see through a lot of things now and all of that. So let's go into fasting because it's my ride or that because I think I've done, but the next time I'm coming I want to do a 7 days dry. Hopefully that 7 days dry is, but the result will be crazy. You can lose as much as 14 kg on a 7 days dry. 14 kg is like 28 pounds. That's a lot to lose. 28 pounds, you are supposed to lose 1-2 pounds per month. That's what somebody will try to lose in 2 years lifting weight. You will lose it in just 1 week. But the whole idea of fasting, what do you think it is?
What fasting is? Oh, like how it helps? Like I don't. Who doesn't know what fasting is?
People think they say they fast different ways. Because I want you to give the whole, autophagy and mitophagy. Mitophagy is autophagy in the mitochondria. So just that, because it's not just not eating. There's a reason why we're not eating. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, like why we got into okay, aside from like spiritual, like we've been fasting, like from where we come from, like fasting, we are Christians, so we fast. It's not a strange idea. So, but when it became like a health thing, or one of the things we did for health, it was
hard for me because it looks like this thing you give it to God, you are now using it for your health, but
yeah. So for us, we're doing fasting to restrict the amount of it's still like restricting the amount of calories you eat in a sense, but at the same time, like talking about autophagy, like once you stop eating, like sometimes like the issue is your mouth. So close your mouth sometimes and let your body actually do repair work, because like your body's systems are working. So once you keep eating, like your body does not have time to actually do that repair work because it's still working, breaking down food. The food they are throwing it's trying to break it down. The kidneys are trying to do filtration and everything. So it does not have time to actually now repair the cells.
Sorry to butt in. That's why the concept of reduce your calorie. I've seen down, they say reduce your calorie but eat many times, or having snacks. That thing again, you're killing yourself. Like your body is doing too much work. You should be able to give your body time.
Yeah, so like what you're saying, so it's just giving your body time to be able to recuperate. That okay, take a break from breaking down this food that this person is giving us, and let us actually do something else aside from digesting food and removing the rubbish that fed it with. So it's doing some other work to repair your cells, like talking about autophagy. Like your body gets to a state of autophagy once you've fasted for an extended period of time, where you are no longer what's autophagy again? You're not breaking down. Your body switches into ketosis. So yeah, instead of burning glucose, you begin to burn ketones. Yeah, fats, exactly. So, and then like for example, using myself as an example, when I was having issue with like belly fat, which I found out to be like a hormonal belly, and hormonal belly means that you have fats around your organs. So that was the only thing that could help me fasting. Like even after I had my son the first time, I was like, okay, let me get rid of this belly. And honestly, it was after I had my son that I had the flattest tummy of my life, because then I got into 16/8. I started doing extended fasting. I got to push myself little by little, because they'll say don't fast because of breastfeeding, but like I was already used to 16/8, so like I knew my body was not going to react adversely. So, but I started pushing it a little bit to see that really affect my milk supply. If I see it's not affecting anything, I push it further until I got to that 26 hours. I fasted for 26 hours at a certain time. So So I would say like, and I found out that the my body got into a state of autophagy, where it was able to break down the fat I was accumulating around my organs. That's why I was able to now have a flat belly. Like it's paining me anyway. It's not as if I was going to post a picture anyway, but it was paining me that I did not take a picture of myself. No, I think I have the picture that you snapped.
Even with like when we are done with this phase now, we will do it and we can post good pictures of, because I mean, thank God we are doing this. You can also hold us accountable. See, the whole essence of fasting is simple. We were not born or made to be eating this frequently. It doesn't even make sense looking at our mouth, for instance, because even the mouth itself, during that period, your mouth will smell, which is fine. But actually, what your mouth is doing is that it's actually releasing most of the toxins. That's why even your breath, like during the fasting period, everything, because you are giving out a lot of things you've taken in. So fasting really was that mechanism for us to, or for humans to say, okay, now, because, okay, let's look at the food in your body. At least the first 4 hours after you eat, all your body is doing is breaking down the food. Like, yes, you might be doing something at work, but what your body is doing at that point is trying to break down that food. After that first 4 hours, the next 4 hours would be stability. Maybe blood has gone up, all of those things. It's trying stability at that point. Now that's 8 hours. So from the 8 hours mark, I know that it's suspected that at about 18 to 36 hours is when your body gets into autophagy. And no, 18 hours. Though again, it's debatable. People say, how do we know it's this one, that one? Now, many people just use the concept of they take your urine to check the number of ketones in it. And so it will differ per person. It will differ again per the work you do after you eat. So if you stress your body will immediately burn the food so that it can do a repair. So that's why, people in the health industry say, try to take a walk, even 10 minutes walk after you eat, or do something, even as we are speaking.
Even like I think, was it Dr. Who was talking, Dr. Beg or something, that you want to start extended fasting, just make sure that you have eaten like lots of fats, so that since your body, you don't have that, your body is not trying to break anything down, so it's just moving gradually. So I think that's why I was able to get into autophagy like faster. So like I didn't have that like those kinds of issues that I have to wait a couple number of days and have to fast like 3 days.
I used to start with eating egg and chicken, but it's that day that my wife will now do one jollof rice. You go and do one jollof rice or one cake that will break it. I'll have been doing 1 week, try to take myself gently into my fast.
You notice that when I bake jollof rice, I keep it in the fridge. If you are not eating it, that thing can last almost a month.
I think the thing is, and I've gotten it why. So usually when I make food, like when I'm always making food, usually I will not fast. But when I switch into that, you will now, because I'm not making food anymore, you will want to compensate. You will now make one very nice, and it's always good not to eat your food. So in that point, it's just like, but I was just thinking about it. How do I used to? Because really, you need that build up. That's why fasting looks like torture in the religious circle, because you are just stopping from a very harsh diet. Your body is not ready. But if you take yourself into that some form of deprivation, let's say 1 week, when you get into fasting, it will be a good ride. So the whole concept of fasting is just simple. You want your body to get to work. And one of the symptoms, I think you say you've not had it, but it happens to me a lot, is the concept of keto flu, where you, like me, I think mine happens if I go dry after the first day. No go try mess for outside because you might just pour on yourself, like you have like diarrhea, everything just. So after that stage for me is when even all my body will know that we are in now, like maybe that's the first level of toxins. Then when I break my fast too, whatever you eat becomes water instantly. It's like your body is doing like a flush to welcome.
So I think for me, where I've not been able to do the extended hours of fasting, I think the longest I've done is 26 hours, maybe 28 hours. But I've not done that because I went from pregnancy to breastfeeding, and immediately I stopped breastfeeding, I was pregnant again. So, and also now breastfeeding. So So I've not had that luxury to say, let me just do 3 days dry. So, but it's definitely something I want to try. I will still keep doing my 16/8. I can push it 24 hours if I feel up to it. But I may not go that drastic yet. But like down the line, it's something that I want to do.
Yeah. And so now to go to the result of fasting, I think, I mean, there are two sets of people that I've seen that they have more win rates with curing things like diabetes, cancers. I think cancer, let's take it. There are some types of cancers. Yeah, there's this guy that has been trying to cure. I think this the cancer for men. Yeah, no, sorry. I think that one is easy with either carnivore, extreme carnivore, where you're just doing only beef, or fasting. That one is easy. But there's this common one, the one in the blood, that's really hard. And the guy he fasted for like 30 days. He got some results. The cancer came back. So they are trying to play with the cancer. So then he started eating again too much. Exactly. So because. And he's still alive, actually, and he's almost like 6 years. We could get a picture, a link to the video. I'll have to check up on his channel to see if he's still going. Hopefully, he's still going. But the highest set of people, again, it might prove me wrong, that I've seen with the highest win rates for curing diabetes, brain fog, PTSD, all of those diseases that even hypertension, there are those, it's either you fast or you have carnivore. Every other way I have seen personally, they usually manage. So you place people on a pill and then they're always on that drug. And so for me, that was just okay, if this is what works. I mean, that's why till today, anytime I eat things like rice, in my mind, I'm saying, okay, I know what to do. God forbid anything happens. And because, again, I'm a pastor's son, so then if my dad wants to, one of the reasons they say, okay, he's also powerful is, if you're trusting God for fruit of the womb, just come. Usually they'll do maybe 7 days. You fast every day, but you break. So you are doing 24, maybe 24/7. No, 24 hours, then 7 days a week. After that, they'll say, go and meet your husband. Again, these are not standalone rules. We're not saying this to make anybody feel bad. I don't know. But I'm just saying the highest results I've seen online, or maybe against an agenda to help fasting, I don't know, because people will always be critical. But for me personally, I really saw good results. Like this was maybe last year October or so. Then I had almost 8 packs. Everything was that out just from fasting and being consistent with it. So you can call it calorie deprivation, but the whole essence of calorie and fasting is simple. If you are less on calorie, ensure that when you are bringing in calories in, it is something that, it's something that will give you much nutrition. Now to cost, because this is where you can see our face. This is the big elephant in the room, and this is why we have to be sincere, because cost is a thing, especially because we are not in the family of those who rear cows. So, do you think it's economically right or viable, feasible, to keep to a close to clean diet?
Okay. So
we're still with diet. We've never gotten to like perfume, environments, your house, things you put in your body, inhale, lifestyle changes. Yeah, but let's stay with food.
Okay, so I'll say yes. It depends on how you do what you do, and I would say we definitely have restrictions. I know people, like, anytime people complain about, they can't like go into, like, they're struggling to get by already, that adding all this whole like eat beef, eat this thing, eat close to the ground, which are also more expensive than the regular ones, is that, and the people that like talk about it, they will argue that, okay, you could rear a cow, you could move to a farm, you could
The students now, I won't take rear cow. I know they're talking about native people.
Yeah, native people, like, you can grow your own food, you can have a farm and everything. But for us, it's not feasible for us to do that. So, but are there means? Yes. But are those means always available for us? Probably not. We can't have a farm now because of the where we live. We cannot be growing anything. Maybe downstairs or something. We can't grow anything. Yes, so we can't grow anything and things like that. So we cannot have cows or have rear chickens or anything. So we are restricted in that sense. But if you are able to, yeah, go ahead. You can have chickens. We grew up with chickens. We had chickens. We had goats. We had what do we have? We had lots of animals. We had gardens and everything. So we were getting fresh things from the farm. So we do really spend money on buying like vegetables or fruits because we already had them. So, but when it comes to your own reality, I think that's where it depends on everybody's place in life and the resources you have available to you. So if you are able to afford it, then yeah, you probably would. Maybe you just have to cut down on the amount you eat and just eat healthy, but you don't eat too much if it's something you can do. But what we have decided to do, because the number of mouths we are feeding.
But thinking critically, for me, I think there are two things that comes with cost. The first one with cost is cost versus cravings. Because thinking about it critically, if we are being overcritical about it, sometimes the cost might not be the problem as much as the cravings. Because let's say, for instance, you and I, let's say we want to stop. Let's use rice is even so we can stop rice easily. Let's use groundnuts. Okay. We like groundnuts a lot as a family generally, all of us. Peanuts. The amount we spend on peanuts, that amount we spend on peanuts for the bottles and whichever way. Let's say I think it's about, let's just say $6 per whatever quantity. If we take in a month we can buy. Roughly, let's say 10, roughly, but we spend as much as that, so that's $60. That's $60 to get. You can get that one wrap of that meat that's in freezer, ground beef. Thank you, and that can also take us for at least 3 or 4 days if we have. So usually, the thing with healthy eating in that sense is that you might feel restricted. You're not technically. The only thing is that you have to find different ways to move different food. Yeah, exactly. That's just the problem. Because some days you want to fry beef and that day boil the beef. But after those two, or you put the beef on the egg, what else again?
Eat avocado and eat egg.
For me, that I just love easy, like. One thing I noticed again with the nutrition industry, especially the extreme guys, is that there's something in their mind is the ease. The ease to just say I eat meat alone is easy. You don't need, and you get result. But when you start to say avocado and all of those things, okay, should I blend it? Should I do this? Should I do that? So I don't think because somebody argued it on YouTube that it's not as costly as people think. It's just that when you are out of options, like let's say you spend your $200 on meat this month, there's a probability that the whole $200 you will not finish the meat. Then
get tired of the meat, exactly. So you don't have those variety.
Halfway into the month, you're like, oh, I'll go buy rice.
I got to a point like we're eating chicken. I was like, I don't want to see chicken again. Like if chicken is beside me.
Yeah, so I think it's just a balance of cravings and options, and we live in a world where we have options. Because now, if we backtrack to, that's why I watched that series where they try to live like cavemen. That's how they try to live. And so if you see that, if you're in that setting, if it's chicken you appreciate that chicken like, yes. So, and that's how we are wired to live, actually, where the convenience is good. I mean, we are enjoying convenience, but that survival mode, it will push you to your limits, and you begin to appreciate even the little things, like even water. Like they have to boil water every time they need to drink water, and you don't know me that, at some point in our country, you need to do that. And so you appreciate not that you just open the tap, you have a filter, or you just get a lot of bottles and all of that. So just to come back to the topic, I don't think it's as costly as people think it is. It's just it's very strict, limiting. And so with that limit, it's even your brain. And since we are doing this, maybe I'm also telling myself that it's just in your brain so I can work on it. But it's just really a brain thing. There was one time where that we just went to buy rice. I think we bought Spark then, one of these wheat Spark then, and so it's just more of a brain thing. But there's nowhere in our brain we cannot buy cake shower. We have some limits. But this is how we got into it. I know this is the first step. We'll look at some of the things we didn't address. There are a lot of things we've not addressed in lifestyle change because it affected a lot of things. And oh wait, I didn't say there's a side effect of fasting too. Is that you might need to take your bath often. I think she knows. You need to take your bath often because your body is releasing a lot of things. You would think, like personally at that point, I love to wear I wear nose mask to help other people because if you like brush 20 times a day, your body is pushing things out. So Yoruba will say "Wamagba." So that's one side effect of fasting, and it's good because your body is actually. I cannot imagine those who are the 300, 400 pounds. I cannot imagine what they'll be releasing. It's a lot of things your body is doing for you. Then there's this question about bile. And I personally also encountered that. I was going to do a video. I'll do a video personally just talking about that because it was crazy. So after a fast, I just ate meat, but I didn't eat fat. So I didn't take enough water. Bro, I gave birth that day. I practically gave birth. It was that bad. Like, I was like, oof, is this what these people that have the romance one guy and guy relationship, is this what they go through? It was really crazy. It was that crazy, really crazy for me. And I was like, oh, so I just checked that and I noticed, oh, this was my mistake. I didn't take enough fat that would dissolve the protein. So like it was like a human being's head because you wanted to go to the toilet. And I had somebody in the carnivore community also have that same problem, but he switched from, he went out, so wanted to eat with his wife, then he ate some vegetables, some fiber and avocado, and he just came from strict carnivore into that. That was the worst day of his life too. He said he almost gave birth, like nothing. And you feel the pressure. You want to go for type 2. I bet this said you want to use the restroom type 2, and you're trying to push and push and push. Number 2, and nothing came out. So that's one thing with fasting is when you want to eat protein, ensure you have enough fat or you're taking more water, so that your physics would be soft. Yeah, that's just one thing that's happened to me personally, and I feel I should share it because that day I was angry after I said I'll go and eat rice. I mean, when I get angry, I eat rice because I love rice. But that's one thing with fasting. But again, it's a good experience. It's a healing experience. You would have headaches, and many of the headaches would be from maybe you have a shortage of electrolytes. Sometimes you can use lemon in water, and that's also, sorry, these are things I used. I'm not giving you advice, medical advice. So, but these are things I used that helped in my journey. But yeah, that's all for this episode. Your last words.
Yeah, so again, that's just like we said from at the beginning, that the whole healthy lifestyle, whatever you call it, healthy lifestyle, close to the ground, anything, it's holistic. It is not just it's not just one thing. It's a mix of everything. Like we talked about diet, we talked about fasting, we didn't really talk about like other things like environment and the clothes you wear and your lifestyle and everything. So but diet plays a huge part in this whole thing, and it's because it's primarily within your control, something that you can actively work on. So I would encourage everyone. Obviously, we are not medical doctors. We are not giving medical advice. We are just sharing our experiences. So, but I'm very convinced that this thing actually works, and let's try it first and see how it works for you. I know some people say, I know somebody that just you first. Try it first. Let's see, because I'm not seeing it.
I know somebody that usually I think you're just being critical. I don't think, but maybe it's your knowing, so it's not mine.
So just try it for yourself first. Don't knock something until you have tried it. Try to see if it works for you, and also try it for a number of times. So it's not like I tried it for 1 month and then after 1 month.
We're about almost 3 years in now.
In this 2026, we started like 2020.
Yeah, it was just when you came, when we got married. Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years. 3 years in, it's been a journey. Yeah.
My last words will be simple. First thing I want you to take away: when you get whatever you want to eat, ensure you can explicitly say what it contains. Once you can't do that, then I personally don't eat it. Once I cannot say, okay, this is what is inside, then I will not eat it. That's one. Number two, when you go to buy things, always check, just check. Then your first step, you will still buy it. You eat it because you love it. But just begin to check, ask questions. What is this? What is that? What is whatever? Corn syrup, fructose, whatever. You see a lot of things. Then I think there's this one. This one is hard to apply. But if the ingredient is more than, I think they say 10, don't eat it. This is another very hard one. But again, these are things we now do. Like once it's more than 10. Now, even with stew that we cook, I can tell you the ingredients of our stew. Let's count it. Bell peppers, onions, pepper, ghee, curry, thyme, and meat. It's not even up to 10. So, because the moment you put in Maggi, for instance, again, I'm not again. Okay, sometimes we put in locust beans. So, that's to show you how we know.
Because you can track the sources. Because if I put something like Maggi itself has ingredients. So, all the other things you're adding
A lot.
Yeah.
So, that's one way. Then, a very good way to detox without having to drink anything. Like, your body can detox for you. Like, I don't know how we
give it the tools that it needs.
Yeah, I don't know how we've left our body. Your body is fantastic. Just fast, it will detox for you. Your body will, especially if you are still a bit healthy and you are younger. You know, as you grow older, you need some things. Another one is to lift also, so you can work on your muscles. I think we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, it's a different video talking about like
muscle will play a big role in how you sustain your life in the long run. But again, we don't have any attachments. If today I see a body of knowledge verifiable that will confront whatever I think now, I'm open. And I tell people all the time, I'm not so married to this thing that I'll die with it. I'll die for it. The only thing is that show me, I'll just compare both of them. As I've said, the sugar is too far. I compare just veggies and carnivore. That's what I compare nowadays, looking at it, and I think it will be good. So yeah, that's all we have for this video. Again, thanks to our sponsor. If you're here and you're watching, it means you believe in us. My wife, you can check out her channel, Bring Me Up Close, and you'll see things about herself. And on this channel too,
and he also has a channel too.
Yeah, but it's not my day today. But yeah, please subscribe. We'll be doing more of this where we discuss food. And now I will now bring in a lot of critics, because one of the best things is that you should be able to accommodate other views. Then let the facts speak for itself. Till the next video, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.